Welcome to Grace IS. So in today's session, we'll be discussing about the prelim strategy. Prelims is just near the corner. So all of you must know what is the, what strategy you should adopt. That will help you in clearing the prelims. See, strategy makes a huge difference. If you are adopting a proper strategy, you are definitely going to clear the prelims. So what you have to remember that as per the vacancies, if 1000 is the vacancy, some 15,000 they will be clearing the approximately some 15,000 they will be clearing the prelims. So what you have to do? You have to find your name in those 15,000 candidates, successful candidate list who will be clearing the prelims. So for that, what strategy you will be adopting? See, you guys are opting for India's topmost posts, right? Civil services, where people from different educational background, they will be coming and competing with you, isn't it? Then how can you beat them? Isn't it? Or how can you have an edge over them? That will be decided by the strategy you are adopting, isn't it? And definitely we have to accept the fact that it is going to be the very tough exam, because not because the questions paper are difficult, more because there are more number of candidates, almost 10 lakhs every year, 1 million, they are sitting for the exam, isn't it? So you have to come among those 10 lakh people who will be filling the form, you have to come within those 15,000. So definitely it is going to be tough, not because the exam is tough, but the competition is tough, right? So by adopting a proper strategy, you can crack your prelims. So what you have done in your board examination to get good marks? Tell me. What strategy did you adopt? You just studied, or there is some strategy? You have gone through the syllabus of the exam, isn't it or not? You have gone through the PYQs, isn't it? So UPSC is not much different. These two strategies you would have adopted. Along with that, you would have practiced answer writing, isn't it? Because in your board exam, that's a descriptive, and what is there in mains also. UPSC mains, descriptive answer writing. In your prelims, the answer is in front of you. You have to pick the correct one, isn't it? The options are there given, and in which you have to select the correct answer. So this is what you have gone through even during your board preparation and practice, isn't it? These three strategy you have adopted. Syllabus, going through the syllabus. Why you go through the syllabus? So that you should know exactly what you have to study, isn't it? You are not studying something more, or you are not deducting from there which you have to study. So that's the reason you should have a good hold over the syllabus. Secondly, now what type of questions are coming? How should I give direction to my preparation? That will be decided when you go through the PYQ. Same thing you have to do. And then you practice. What questions has come in the previous year, you try to practice, you try to do the rehearsal on that. Similar way you have to do it for the UPSC also. The only difference, UPSC is a competitive examination. UPSC CSE is a competitive examination, whereas your board examination, you have to get minimum of 40% to pass the examination. Here is nothing called minimum and maximum. Okay. It is decided by the cutoff, how other candidates have performed, and of course depending upon the vacancies, which is not there in your board exam. Is there any vacancy? No. You get 40% or above, you have cleared. You get 90% all, that's a very good marks. But here there is no fixed criteria of passing. It's not like that you are getting 40% of the marks, you will clear your prelims, isn't it? It's the competition. That's the only difference. That's why it is little tougher than your board examination. But the strategy is almost same. Syllabus, PYQ, practice, Now, this is what you should be looking. There are a lot of subjects in your prelims, isn't it? I mean, for your UPSC preparation, you have to study huge number of subjects. So again, by going through your PYQ, previous year questions paper, you will come to know from where, how many questions are coming. So you do the analysis of 10 years. Look at the allocations of the questions. See, it will not be same, but you will get an idea by going through these number, at least 10 years of paper. You will get an overall idea that how many questions are coming from each section. There would be some aberrations will be there, but generally this is what the trend is. So you see, current affairs, like in 2012 they had not asked much questions, but then later years you have seen there are a good number of questions from the current affairs. I'll also discuss what type of questions is called current affairs. And then history, what are the core subject? One is your history, geography, polity, economics. If you can cover these 4 subjects really well, definitely you are going to clear your prelims. I'm not saying that you have to totally overlook other subject. Plus environment. Good number of questions are coming. That you can club with geography also. There are a lot of similarities between the questions of geography. Some questions they club it in the geography, some they put it in the environment section. Particularly the static one, they'll put it in the geography. Right. So though it will come in the domain, some they put it in the environment domain, some they put it in the geography. So geography plus environment, there's a very good chunk of question will be coming from this. Right. Now what is left? Your science. So again, those people from the science background, they will comparatively find it, I'm saying. See, this exam is meant for everyone. It is not meant for only science people. We have seen toppers from every stream. People have done arts, they have topped the list. People have done, commerce, they have also topped the list. People have done science, they have also topped the list. So UPSC is a, kind of a labeler. Though people, those opting for arts and commerce, they are a bit considered in lower standard in society. But UPSC gives you an opportunity to be at the top, even you have studied from arts or commerce background. Isn't it or not? Because people from every stream, they will be competing. And we have seen toppers from all the streams. Because the questions, the pattern is such where people from any background, they can easily crack the exam. And there is no bar, isn't it? There is no bar. Everybody who has done their graduation, they can apply for the exam. You just have to have a proper degree from a recognized university, that's all. There is no pass percentage also, like you should have a kind of a 60% or 70 or only 90% people, they can only apply. Like some of the exams like banks and all. There is some kind of restrictions. Those who have secured some 60% in their 12th or graduation, only they can apply. But UPSC, you imagine you are, this exams conducts for India's top positions, isn't it? Finance secretary, foreign secretary, home secretary, all these, the secretaries and then bureaucrat, the one who helps in making policy as well as the core work is to implement the policies, right? The core work of bureaucracy is to implement the policies, but they also contribute tremendously in formulating the policies. The political leaders, they provide you the goal. So you see, entire administrations kind of is being carried out by these bureaucrats, isn't it? So it's a highly prestigious and influential positions all of you are kind of aspiring for, and there is no bar, anybody can do it. Anybody with a proper degree, they can apply. Now look at the subjects. Most of the subjects is humanities, isn't it? Because this is more a generalist kind of services or job you are going to provide, where you have to connect with the people. So you need not have to be an IITian, or you need not have to be, study from IIM to connect with the people. You should know the historical perspective, you should know the political scenario, the constitutional aspect, the geography, these all things, the social aspect, these all things will help you in knowing your country and the people, right? So that's the reason it's a non-technical. The subjects are mostly non-technical. And even in science and technology, you will see most of the question will be application based. Application based, right? So whatever you have studied till your class 10, see, class 10th, those students who were good till class 10th, because they would have studied everything. They would have studied history, they would have studied science, they would have studied social science, environment and all, right? So those who have studied till class 10th, all the subject well, the fundamentals are clear. They are not going to face any kind of difficulties in the UPSC preparation. Definitely hard work is there, consistency approach is required, but then they would find it difficult to understand the topic. So these are the major chunk from where the questions are coming. Any chunks you are feeling that, I am not very comfortable with, you can little bit keep it aside. But rest of the chunk, you have to do it really well. Now why I emphasize on these? Because these chunks are also important for your mains. In mains also these core subjects are very, very important. So you can prepare these subjects along with, few, see those who are science people anyway, they will revise and they might find the questions bit easy, but people from commerce and arts background also, they are not going to find the questions very difficult. At least, okay, even where is the science and technology? See, the number of questions, suppose 10 questions are coming. So if science background people, they may solve some 6 to 7. At least arts background people, they will also able to solve 4 to 5 questions aram se, because it is mostly application oriented. So no need to be afraid of that this subject is technical, and major chunks are anyway non-technical. So this is how, just please go through the allocations of questions, and accordingly you can prepare a strategy. As I have discussed, there are 4 core subjects which you need to keep in your mind, plus environment. So like this we should do. But then there are some people, like they're studying history and they will totally neglect medieval history. You will not be able to develop a good clarity of knowledge if you avoid medieval history. Absolutely. How will you know the transition from ancient? You directly studying the modern history. You are totally living the transition part, medieval history. So will you able to develop it well? So don't leave it absolutely. I've seen, many people, they are doing like that, and probably that could also be a reason why they are not able to clear, because they will not develop a good knowledge of the subject. So you have to study ancient, medieval, modern, but you see from where the maximum questions is coming, there you can, give the weightage. But sometimes what happened, as I told you, aberrations are there. Sometimes they give more questions from medieval history. So imagine if you have absolutely left that segment, you will not be able to even solve any question. And there are so many questions which have a relations, in the modern history, because modern history got transition from where? From the medieval history, right? So don't leave any section, even for science and technology, as I told you, don't leave any section. But yes, some section can be the more core section, where you have to give more emphasis, right? But don't leave any section unattended, that, I will not touch this. No, that is a very faulty strategy. Every section you have to prepare well. Some section, there are some core area where you have to emphasize more, right? Now then, you also look on the basis of cutoff. When you see the cutoff, you will able to make a, a strategy. You can find, if I attempt these many questions, I will be able to crack the prelims. So that will be decided, how many questions are there. 100 questions are there in GS1. I'll come to CSAT also, because there are many people, who are clearing the cutoff of GS, but they are somewhere not able to clear the CSAT. So I'll talk on that also. 80 questions, right? And then there is a negative marking also. 1/3, right? 1/3 mark is your negative marking. So accordingly, you have to, if you look at the cutoff, so we'll see from 2011 onwards, particularly from 2014, when they have changed. Yes. So till CSAT was introduced in 2011. So 2011 to 2014, the marks of GS plus CSAT was added, and then final cutoff was decided. After 2014, since 2015, what happened? CSAT was made qualifying. All of you know this, right? You have to secure 1/3 marks, right? Means 66 out of 200. So this is fixed. Whether the question is easy or tough, you have to clear the cutoff. That is the 66, right? Now, GS marks will vary. GS marks will vary depending upon the difficulty level of the question. So we have seen, like in 2023, when the pattern of the prelims questions was quite difficult for the student to handle. See, the questions were not difficult, only the pattern they have changed. The options, pattern of the options was a bit changed. So that's why the student found it a bit difficult to handle. Right. So we have seen automatically it came down. 75 marks was the cutoff, you see. Isn't it or not? So automatically it's going to come down. If the paper, the difficulty level of the paper is high, it's automatically going to come down. If the paper is easy, like this year, 2024, the last year prelims paper, it was comparatively easy. Again, the options were being normalized. The options were again, it was again to the pre-2023 back. So the students found it a bit easy, and definitely this year the cutoff is going somewhere, it will be around 90 or so. It's going to be higher than last year. So we need not worry about the pattern of question, because it is not only for me, it is for everyone. Whatever the pattern of question or pattern of exam, unless and until UPSC makes it technical, like only people from science background, they can putting more number of science questions, then yes, definitely those people from science background, they will be more benefiting from the exam, right? So unless and until UPSC does such kind of drastic changes, it is for everyone. Whatever the change in pattern, it is for everyone. Even when CSAT was introduced, many people, they thought that it is very difficult, and it is promoting only English medium student, it is promoting only maths and science people. Of course, there was difficult, when 2011 to 2014, it was a bit difficult because, the marks was being added. So those people from maths background and all, they'll have a tendency to solve more number of questions. So considering that kind of difficulty, it was made now qualifying in nature, right? Now in CSAT, I'll come separately, that even people from arts background, commerce background, they can easily sail through. They can sail through with the proper practice. Even if they are not good at maths, they can crack the exam. I'll come to that point later on. So this is what the cutoff. This cutoff will, somewhere help you in deciding. See, in 2016, the cutoff was a bit high. 2015 also cutoff was high, of course, that shows that paper was comparatively easy. But you look at this 2000, particularly 18 onwards, 18, 19, 2020, 21, 23, you know, already it has come down to 75 marks. So paper difficulty, if it is increasing, automatically the cutoff will also come down. So we need not worry about that. We have to be within those 14,000-15,000 who are getting selected for the prelims. That is how our preparation should be such. So this will give you a building a proper strategy. Percentage, you see, somebody, you know, cracking just getting 49%, they are able to crack the prelims. So 98, suppose 98 marks. Consider 100 marks is the cutoff. You have to prepare in a manner that 100 marks, by going these year trends. By going these year trends, what we should do? 100 marks. I should be able to get 100 marks out of 200, so that I am fully kind of comfortable, yes, I'll crack my prelims. That should be my preparation level. So now you have to select the questions. How will you do? How will you do? Tell me. How will you select the questions? And how will you approach the question paper? So what you can do is that 100 questions are there. It's not like in the, how do you do basically? You go and solve all in the one reading? No. You go the layer of readings, right? So first reading. You will choose those questions which you are fully comfortable, like yes, I am sure this is what the answer is. So if you are averagely prepared, maybe I am just giving you some figure, not an absolute figure, 35 to 40 question, you will feel yes, absolutely correct hai. Or at least 35 questions. If the range is 40, it may come down to 30-35 also, 30-35 questions. Yes, clear hai. You will first mark those questions. So you have to go through the layer of reading. It's not like you will solve in one reading. First reading, I'll take those questions which I am 100%, I'm, you know, absolutely clear that this is the answer. So among if 40 I have selected, then could be that 35 would be correct. Few questions, because nobody is, you know, 100% sure about the things. Some question we may feel, yes, this is the answer, but that may go wrong. Right? It's because we may not have read the questions properly, right? Because of that. So, okay, fine. 40 question I have selected in my first reading. In that 35, suppose, you know, would be the strike rate also. Now you 40. Now, but just by solving 40, what score you will be getting? If all the 40 are correct, then you will get 80. Then still you have to take a chance, isn't it? Then there are certain questions in which you would have marked a doubt. And there are third category of question which you would have said that, no, I don't know. That you will not adopt. So those questions where you have marked such kind of impression, those questions you will not be doing. Means I don't know only. Right? These questions absolutely I have no idea. So first reading, what you go and select those questions which you absolutely know. I mean, give a kind of a brief understanding. Some you would have marked doubt, aata hai thoda bahut, but little confusion hai. Again, I'll come back to these questions, isn't it? Again, I'll come back and I'll see. So there you will mark your doubt. Now then again you will read some question. You will read 2-3 times. In the first reading only try to read 2-3 times. It's not like once only I have to read. 2-3 times. Read the questions properly in the first reading itself. ये questions तो बिल्कुल नहीं आता है, I don't know only. You mark it down. After that, the questions you know absolutely, you will mark tick, isn't it? So there are 3 types you will mark it. In some question you will mark where you absolutely know, tick. Some question where you are like this, or this could be the option, or this could be the option. Again, I'll come back and I'll read it properly. Doubt you will mark. And some questions you will mark it like this. I don't know. I'm not going to attempt this question. But again, even those questions you have marked it like this, before ending your paper, try to read this question also, which you have marked cross. Maybe, sometime some enlightenment would happen, some insight you will get it. Ki, nahi, I know this, isn't it? So, even the question you have marked this, cross marks. Try to read the question before you finalize or end your paper. By marking 35 or 40 question, I will not be able to clear the prelims, right? Even if all the questions are correct, there will be just chances some question would be incorrect. Even in the question you found that you are very sure 100%. Still, in those also there would be some question which might go wrong, right? Then you will go for your second reading. You will go for your second reading. So second reading, you will again go through these. Once you revise what you have done correct, please revise that, because many a time, we read the question, later on we see, Arey Baba, this was not the option. And again, please, one more thing, remember very importantly, don't mark on your OMR sheet instantly. Do it half an hour before you finalize, before the end time, right? So 2 hours, there is a 2 hours program, isn't it? So within 2 hours you have to complete the paper. So 1.5 hour, 1.5 hour, you can do all the proper analysis and all. Mark it on the question paper. Don't mark it on the OMR, because many a time what happened, the questions we thought that we have marked it absolutely correct, and again when you read it, you will feel, oh no, this is not the option. I didn't read it properly. Again when you read it, you will find it, this was not the option. So don't mark it but then don't keep it at the last moment, just 10 minutes before the exam, finishing time I will do it. No, don't do that mistake also. Half an hour baki hai, start doing that. First, the one which I am very sure that you start doing. Yeah, coming to the point, second reading. In the second reading, what you will go? You will go through again those questions you were very sure at, you will revise it, and more importantly, you will go through these questions where you have marked out, isn't it? You will have to take chance, because 30-35 will not make you, clear the exam. So you have to take what? Calculated risk. And calculated risk you will be able to do it only when you are totally, conceptually very clear. So build your concepts. Building concepts is very, very important. And one more thing also I would like to emphasize here. If you see the prelims questions, if you are thoroughly good with the static portion, you will have an edge. So please build your concept. It's all on if your concepts are clear, definitely you are going to crack the prelims. There is no doubt about that. And how the concept clarity will come? Through multiple revisions. Yes, what you should do? What you should do? Read the topic with study, not read, I would say. Study the topic. You study the topic properly. Solve the section wise PYQ, And then similar way, you go topic wise, all the subjects, solve the PYQ, you will come to know what is, the conceptual clarity. If you are able to solve more number of questions, means you are fine with the concepts, isn't it? But if you are not able to solve it, then somewhere conceptual clarity is lacking. Again, you go and revise, build a very strong foundation. Then you will see in the second and third type, when you are solving the question, you are able to solve it most of the question because your concept has been properly built. Okay, so this is the method. If you adopt, definitely you are going to clear. Section wise, topic wise, and of course we have to see from where the maximum number of questions are coming. Like every year in polity, you see from fundamental rights, DPSP and all, that is the one chunk area where every year some questions will be coming from that particular area. So I have to strengthen. I'm not saying that you don't have to strengthen other area. You have to strengthen other areas also. Questions from schedules, question from amendments. Again, there are hundreds of amendments, isn't it? 106 amendments. Should you remember all line by line? There are some important amendments which you should remember. And how will you come to know what are important amendments? Again, through the PYQ. There are important articles. Again, there are more than, 445 articles of the Constitution. Shall you remember all those articles? No, again the PYQ will give you a clarity which, the articles of the Constitution, they had been asking question. And some articles of the Constitution which are in news. Again, that's the reason reading newspaper or studying newspaper is extremely important. You'll come to know which amendments is being talked about, which articles of the Constitution is being talked about. Right? Similar way, in the science and technology, in environment, what is being talked about? You'll be knowing those things. Yeah, so this is how you can build your strategy. Now coming back to the second reading, as I told you, you will go through this. The doubtful question, again you will go through this also. Again, all the three you should go through. It's not like only you will go through this. The question you are sure about, please go through that also. Doubtful, definitely you will do more analysis. You will try to take calculated risk in that. And then this one, maybe, 15, some 20 question you have marked that, I don't know. But in this also, it may happen, 1 or 2 question you may get insight. This I can take chance. I know it. Isn't it? Batti jal jayega, hai na? So, yeah, then like I have done 40 in the second reading, another 25 question I have done. How many questions come? 65. Again, just solving 65 questions, that might also be a risky, isn't it? Because usme se kuch galat bhi ho sakta hai. Then you will go for the third reading. You will try to do little bit more. So, what, again, everybody will have their own experience. I, on the basis of my own experience of cracking prelims all the time, I have seen that some 80 to 85 number question is quite good enough. This is what the strategy, depending of course on the difficulty level, but 80 to 85 is a good number. Some 10-15 are the questions where we'll find it more difficult. Some 10-15 that, yeah, nahi pata hai, kuch nahi pata hai uske bare mein, we shouldn't take the chance. So the number of questions should be adequate to cover your negative marking, because some question might get wrong. But it should not be too much also, some people they will go for 100, all the 100 questions. That is also, we are not sure about all the questions, right? So those questions we are absolutely not sure about, don't attempt those. And if you are averagely prepared, why I say averagely? Because it's all about the average performance. Nobody can be perfect, 100%. In UPSC, nobody can be very sure. But if I am averagely prepared of all the topic I have prepared well, somewhere I can solve 80 to 85 questions. That's what on the basis of my experience I have seen. And that is a fair number. But then minimizing the negative. Suppose you solved Suppose you solved 80-85 question out of 100. Then how many you should make it negative? That also you have to be very much careful about. Considering 1/3 mark is the negative one. So tell me the calculations. Suppose 80 question का marks क्या आएगा? 160 if all you have done correct. So suppose you solved 80 question and in that what should be the margin? Then if you are solving 80, 20 question you can go incorrect. 60 you should go correct. If 80 you are attempting. If you are 80 question you are attempting, this could be a proper calculation where you might get 100. See, this is what I am giving you a rough calculation. Okay. Things will little bit vary here and there. But suppose, you know, on that particular year, I somehow I able to pick the 80 questions. Maximum I can do 20. It could be 20 to 25 maximum. There could be a range. We cannot keep it totally, right? So 20, if I am attempting 80 question, 20 to 25 I can make it wrong. So suppose I make 20 question wrong, then 60 question correct, right? So 120 minus 20 minus 20 का 1/3 how much? Tell me. 13.4. 1/3. Some 6 question marks will be deducted. 6 into 2, 12. 12 marks will be deducted. Isn't it? 12 marks will be deducted or not? If 20 question you are doing incorrect, 1/3 marks will be deducted, means 12 marks will be deducted. 6, right? 6 point something. 6 into 2. Each marks carry 2, right? Got the point? 12 marks will be deducted, means 108, isn't it? So 108 is a fair score, very good score. And suppose if I make it 25 wrong, then 25 wrong हो गया तो कितना हो जाएगा? 25 1/3 you check. 8.3. Suppose 9, take it 9. Means 18 marks will be deducted, isn't it? Here also the number will come down because 25 you did it wrong, means how many? 55 question correct, isn't it? If 25 you are making wrong, suppose you attempted 80 question and you made it what? 25 question wrong, means again the correct question will also come down. 55 will be correct. So 55 correct means 110 minus 18. What would be the score? Tell me. 92. ठीक है. So if we have seen the cutoff, if the paper is bit more tough, where 87 was the cutoff, or you know 95 or so, if 95 or so, then you will not make it. If it is 98 or so, you will not be able to make it. So that is how you have to take the calculated risk. But if the questions are bit tough, like it has gone beyond 80, like 87, we have seen the cutoff, right? 87 or so. So in that case, you will clear. So what should be your chance? On a normal, 80 questions and maximum range 20 to 22. इतना कोशिश करो. 100 you should try to keep it. Again, as I told you, little bit here and there, but try to have a target of 100. Considering these year cutoff. Again, you know, the cutoff was high also, as I have shown you, but we are taking the trend of these 5-6 years, where the cutoff is below 100. So little bit you can make the permutation and combination, and then finally this is how you have to analyze the risk, isn't it? Analyze the risk. So once you have done with the section wise, take the comprehensive paper, solve it, and then compare with the cutoff of that particular year. That particular year, like 2023, the cutoff was 75, and I have taken 2023 paper. Let me solve it. What cutoff, what score I am getting? If I am getting somewhere around 75 or 80, that is a very good score, isn't it? I can clear. That will give me the confidence, isn't it? So similar way, comprehensive paper, first section wise, then comprehensive paper, compare with the cutoff, compare your score with the cutoff of that particular year, and this is how the preparation strategy is. I don't know, people, they'll be, I have seen many people, they'll be giving this year, this institute test and that institute test, but they will not be able to analyze their PYQ. PYQ is the first and foremost important thing you have to do. If you have not given test of any coaching institute, I am telling you, and you have just done the PYQ keen analysis and worked upon that, nobody can stop you from cracking the exam. PYQ is the foremost important thing, because nobody can, give you the questions what exactly UPSC has asked. So you will know the length and breadth of the questions. You'll be able to read the mind of those paper setter, how, from where they are asking the questions. Like if every year they had been asking the questions that, this Israel region, the West Asia, isn't it? And Ukraine is also in news for reasons. So Black Sea, Caspian Sea, and the West Asia region, you will see. These areas are quite disturbed. Almost every time some issues will be going on. And every year the questions is coming from that particular area. Either they'll ask you the Caspian Sea, the bordering countries, Black Sea bordering countries, or Ukraine. The Ukraine wasn't so much in the news because of the war. They'd ask the question on that. So if I know that they are asking the question in such a manner, why shouldn't I prepare? I should prepare well and go, isn't it? I can predict what type of questions will be coming, isn't it? So that area, even if the questions comes or not, I should go well prepared. Because in the past 5 to 10 years, I have seen every year, not even 10 years, when we were giving the exam before that also, that area was quite disturbed, and it is still being disturbed, and every year some question to that reason. Once they had asked, the Jordan and Israel, which are the country bordering Israel, Jordan, Lebanon, so the Mediterranean region. So well prepared that area. One question pakka. If you are not prepared, that person will be losing 1 marks, 1 question from that. And if you are well prepared on the basis of PYQ, you will get 1 edge. Similar way, medieval history, as I told you, that will give you an edge. Because many people I have seen, they will absolutely say, oh, medieval history, what tough hai. I am not going to touch it. But that will give you an edge. So don't leave any aspect. Don't leave any aspect. At the same time, emphasize more on the core area. Okay? And then art and culture, many people, they find the art and culture questions very tough, difficult. Again, the questions which is difficult for me, it should be difficult for everyone. That is how your attitude should be. If I am finding it difficult, it is difficult for everyone. So if it is attemptable, you attempt. If it is not, you leave. Simple. Okay. But go through the material which is more, valid. Those material where from maximum questions are coming. Some people, LK Vasam book. Oh, 1 question has come from there. Tamil Nadu history textbook. 2 question has come from there. Now, these 1 and 2 question is not going to define your fate, isn't it? So that we are driven by fear factor, and people exploit that. The market exploit that, the fear of the student. So don't allow your fear to be exploited by the market. Okay? Believe in the content you are reading. Consolidate. See, it's all about consolidation. You consolidate well. One or two material I'll be reading, but I'll consolidate so well. If the questions coming from that area, I shouldn't miss out. So people, they're not clearing the prelims because it's not like they have not read certain books, but because they have not consolidated it well. Whatever they have read, they have not consolidated it. So consolidation is the key. Consistency is the key. Prepare consistently. Consolidate the area which you have studied. Any questions coming from that, I shouldn't miss out. Build your concepts. I hope till here you got some clarity. Yes? So this is what, you have to do the analysis well. Now there are certain, questions which many a time, even if we don't know fully, still we can attempt on the basis of the idea we have got. Even if we don't know each line perfectly, but on the basis of the concept you have developed, you can still solve the questions. And there is a technique of eliminations. Have you heard about the technique of elimination? Through the technique of eliminations also, many a time we can solve the questions which by reading for the first time you will feel that I don't know. But when you read it thoroughly, nicely, properly, you will find it that yes, I can use. Then again, technique of elimination you will be able to use only when your concepts are clear. Without that you can't. So there are some questions, even if you don't know properly, still you can attempt. So I have chosen few questions. You see, the first question. According to Kautilya Arthashastra, which one of the following are correct? It was 2022 question. So such question, can I attempt it or not? So the first point is, a person could be a slave as a result of judicial punishment. Right? Is it correct or not? You tell me the statement. On the face of it, what does it look? Should it correct be or not? Correct hai ki nahi? A person could be a slave as a result of judicial punishment. Slave, right? So that time, see, now there is no slavery. But that time there was slavery or not? In ancient and medieval period, there was a slavery. But is there slavery now? Is the prisoners slaves? No, isn't it? Or the convict, they are slaves? They are not slaves, right? But earlier it was. So if you know the ancient period well, you will come to know, yes, how the slaves were being made. So person could be a slave as a result of judicial punishment. True. So only if you know it well, you will be able to mark it. If a female slave bore her master a son, she was legally free. Now this point, again, is it relevant in present day? Is it relevant? No. It is absolutely unconstitutional and illegal. But during that period, imagine the society was paternalistic, right? And son was considered to be an asset because it was the son who will accede to the throne, isn't it? Succession was through the male line. So obviously, if the wife is not giving boy child, that's why they were marrying so many women. Polygamy was practiced or not? Because by hook or crook they want son. By any method they want son. So that's why they had, a number of wives. That could be one of the reason. One reason. I'm not saying many wives. It was only because of that reason. There are so many other reasons why they had many number of wives. But this was also one reason. Even nowadays, such thing is practiced, though it is illegal. It is illegal, but it is being practiced. If a wife, somebody who is a very conservative, and the wife is not giving the son, line say girl child, then the person gives the excuse for marrying the second wife or second marriage. And if the first wife do not create any kind of or do not take any legal action, it's kind of it's not legally it is not valid, But this is how the society accepts it, isn't it or not? Have you seen such kind of thing being practiced in present day? No, it is. Though it is not legal, but it is being practiced. So during that time, again, if you know the society, yes, if a female slave gives her son, then she will be legally free, because the status of the woman was decided by the child she bore. Was it a girl child or a son? Son was always considered superior, and even the mindset is today, but then now it has reduced. Definitely it has reduced, but still it is there, isn't it? So again, you just imagine the society. So this could be the correct or not. The third one, if a son born to a female slave was fathered by her master, the son was entitled to the legal status of the master sons. Correct? Isn't it or not? Because they want son. So if the legal wife has no son, and the king got son through the slave, he want the son to succeed him, isn't it or not? Even if he has gone through the slave. So if you look at these questions, what do you think? What is the answer should be? A, B, C, D. What? D. All the correct. So even if I don't know exactly all these things, I have not read it, but on the basis of analysis, this is how, there are questions where you can do by analysis. This is what we say, key analysis of the prelims question. Do the analysis. Even if directly I don't know, I attempted it. I would have put it in the D category. The second time when I read it thoroughly, I'll see, yes, I can take the chance here. I feel 90% this is the correct answer. And this on the basis of my reasoning and explanations and the logic. I applied certain logic or not. The second question you see, with the reference to the Indian history, consider the following points. Historical person knowledge. Arya Deva, Jain scholar, Diga Naga, Buddhist scholar, Natha Muni, Vaishnava scholar, how many pairs given were correctly matched? Now this kind of questions, they are not marked 1, 2, 3, they are none of the pairs, only 1, only 2, all the 3. Now this kind of question, Natha Muni, I can say it looks like a Hindu kind of name, then maybe it could be Vaishnava scholar, isn't it? Maybe. We don't know, we are just guessing. Diga Naga, Buddhist, Arya Deva, Jaina. Now this, we are a bit confused in between these two options, isn't it? Even if I can make some guess, intelligent guess, again, intelligent guess, not guess, intelligent guess. And intelligent guess comes through your conceptual clarity. Some kind of interlinking, you do try to. So, probably I won't take the chance in this. I'm not going to take chance. See, good. So here I took the chance because I made some intelligent analysis on the basis of the understanding I had developed of ancient history. So this one I am not going to attempt it. This question I am going to attempt it. Let's see some more questions. I hope you are understanding. Yes. So here basically what type of questions you can take and what kind of question you should not attempt, that is what I am trying to talk about. Now look at this question. Again I have taken from my this history section. With reference to the history, which of the following statement is correct? Mitakshara was the civil law for upper caste and Daya Bhaga was the civil law for the lower caste. So there are two schools of law regarding the inheritance of property that you will be studying in the ancient history. You have studied? Yes, Rishita? No? Till now you have not come? Okay, you have not come. Okay, fine. So there are two schools of law, Mitakshara and Daya Bhaga. Mitakshara was the civil law for the upper caste and Daya Bhaga was the civil law. So if you see this question again, so this is where I say you read the topic properly, nicely, and limited material. So if I have gone through the limited material only, this topic I would have read it. And nicely I would have read it. So it is a civil law for upper caste and Daya Bhaga for lower caste? No, it is not like that. I know it. It is related with the inheritance. They have not asked about the lower and upper caste. In the Mitakshara, so Mitakshara is about the inheritance of property throughout India, except Bengal and Assam. And Daya Bhaga is there in Bengal and Assam. Only in Bengal and Assam. Okay? There are two schools of. So Mitakshara system, the son can claim the right to the property during that lifetime of father, whereas Daya Bhaga, it is only after the death of father that the sons can claim the right to property. So I have read it, this is correct. Mitakshara school, which is prevalent in throughout the country, where the son can claim the property even during the lifetime of father. But in Daya Bhaga, it is only after the death of the head of the family. Okay? So this is correct, I have read it. The Mitakshara systems deals with the matter related to property held by the male members only of a family. Whereas Daya Bhaga system deals with matters related to the property held by both male and female of the members. Now I am bit confused here. I am bit confused. I know the things, but थोड़ा confusion है. तो let's look at the options. Options में क्या है? So first anyway is incorrect. So I'll eliminate. Mitakshara was the civil law for upper caste. This one I will eliminate. And yeah, this one also eliminate. 1 and 3 also eliminate. Then in the Mitakshara, then what is there? So this one to easily through the technique of elimination only you got it. Technique of elimination, you see. Now you got to know, wait, what is, so even if I am a bit confused here, but I know this is wrong. I absolutely know that one is so wrong. It is related to inheritance, not upper caste and lower caste. So I'll mark it wrong. So I'll go with this. I'm a bit confused. Let's see. This is wrong and these two are eliminated. Now, and I know that this is correct. You should know. So the 3 statement as given, 2 I know, 1 I don't know. So through the technique of elimination I did it or not? Fine. But I know that this is wrong because I have read it. It is inheritance of both male and female. Okay. But if little confusion, sometime even if you know there will be some confusion, then please look at the options. You'll get more clarity. Okay. So in such kind of question you can utilize technique of elimination. Even if you out of the 3 statement, if 2 statement you can eliminate. Then look at some more questions. Attorney General of India and Solicitor General of India are the only officers of the government who are allowed to participate in the meetings of the Parliament of India. Again, this is something very factual kind of question. We have heard about the Attorney General, but we have not heard about the Solicitor General. Article 76 talk about that, right? Attorney General, but we have in the constitutions we have not read about that, about the Solicitor General. So what will I mark it, correct or incorrect? Incorrect. According to the Constitution of India, the Attorney General of India submits his resignation when the government which appoints him resigns. So it is there in the Constitution. So first statement क्या है? First statement is, we use some other color. First statement तो incorrect है. सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट है या इनकरेक्ट है? इनकरेक्ट है. According to Constitution of India, the Attorney General of India submits it because there is nothing written in the Constitution. Generally ऐसा होता है, but it is not somewhere written in the Constitution. So it is also incorrect. So answer will be what? Concepts. Conceptual clarity. See, this is how between the line you have to read. Generally it is practice, you know, Attorney General is the law officer of the government. So generally what happens when the government change, the Attorney General also change, because it is what, you know, the equations with the government. Generally it happens, but it is not mandatory, and nowhere in the Constitution it is written like that. So it is wrong. So don't over-interpret the question. Sometimes, you know, we over-interpret. Don't over-interpret also. Again, you know, look at this question. Pursuant to the report of H.N. Sanyal Committee, the Contempt of Act 1971 was passed. The Constitution of India empowers the Supreme Court and High Court to punish for the contempt of themselves. So this statement is correct. See, this one we are a bit confused. We don't know. We may not know, right? Okay, whether it was H.N. Sanyal Committee or not. ये तो पता है कि ये correct statement है. This statement is correct. We know that, right? The Constitution of India defines civil and criminal contempt. Again, if you go through the provision of the Constitution, there is nowhere it is defined. They don't define. They have mentioned it, but they have not defined it. Similar way, basic structure, is there anywhere defined? There is nowhere in the Constitution which is defined. Then, in India, the parliament, so this one also wrong or not? This one wrong, this is correct, this one wrong. In India, the parliament is vested with power to make laws on contempt of court. Yes, correct. It is the parliament who will make the laws on contempt of court. क्या है civil, क्या है criminal, right? The definition will be provided by whom? By the parliament through the law. So we know this is correct. Now we are stuck in this, whether this is correct or not. So now let's look the option. ये वाला तो गलत है ना? Which number? Number 3. Yes, number 3 is wrong. We know that. Number 3 is wrong. So first eliminate this and this. Be careful, you know, read this also. Sometimes it is incorrect. Many people, they will make it wrong, this kind of. So that, these kind of, you know, silly mistake, you must avoid. Many people, they are not able to clear because they make a lot of silly mistake. They don't read the question properly. ये दोनों eliminate हो गया. अभी क्या है options? Which is correct? We know this and this. So you might be, you know, 2 and 4 तो correct ही है. 2 and 4 correct है. So what is the option? ये correct है. Even if I don't know, I made it. Even if I don't know this statement, I still marked it correct because I know other 3. ये पता है कि ये तो incorrect ही है. Eliminate करो. 3, 4 ये C and D option eliminated. अभी ये दोनों का difference है. In that you see that 2 you know correct and you know 4 is also correct. So obviously answer should be this. Okay. So this is how keen understanding, and this again, you know, as I keep on telling, it will come through the proper study and proper understanding of the topic. You see, I have not revised any of these questions. I just came, I gave you the PPT and I've started teaching all this. Why it happened? Because, you know, I have, you know, revised so much, so many times that I can take class even without revision. So many times we keep on revising, you know, it will get stuck. But before your examination, you have to revise, right? It's like, see, it can be okay for me, but not for you, okay? So it's not like that ma'am has said that I can take the class without revision. because of so many years of experience, right? That's a different thing. But again, if some specific fact, even I have to revise, right? For specific fact, even I'll have to revise. But this will all come with the proper understanding. Where your understanding is there, lot of question on the basis of your understanding, you will be able to solve it. Okay? Then with the GS, I hope you are now in a better position to understand where you need to apply the technique of elimination, where you need to apply calculated risk, what type of question absolutely छोड़ देना है, touch ही नहीं करना है, because I don't know, I can't take the risk. I shown you that kind of question also. So I've just shown you one type of one question only where I was absolutely have no idea and I left it. But other question, I could do it on the basis of my understanding. Now CSAT, again CSAT is becoming a stumbling block for many students. They are finding it difficult. So now again, so those people with science, there are two category of people here. I will club it, science and commerce. Three बोल लेते हैं चलो, arts. अब ये देखो, science people generally they are good at math. Generally, those who have studied biology, they may not be that good, but still better. They could be better than arts people. Better general understanding. Again, commerce people, again they could be also good in maths, but not so good at science people, because science people, they do in a more kind of intensive manner, isn't it? Those who opt for physics, chemistry, mathematics, their maths would be definitely more better than the commerce people. Even the commerce people, they have maths, but the science people, they have little more advanced. They do lot more practice in maths. And during their preparation also to get into science, they do lot practice in maths. So they comparatively maths unka thoda अच्छा होगा. Arts people comparatively obviously in the lowest third category in comparison for maths. So maths is something which is difficult for the people because it required constant practice. Constant practice required, isn't it? So now look at the question from where the maximum questions coming. See, comprehension passage 25 to 30. So generally 25 to 30 questions. Quantitative aptitude, this also you can put it somewhere 30 questions. This one on an average you can put 20 questions. Okay, on an average 20 questions. It is more also, you can see sometime it has given more also. So let's take it this one 25, let's take it this one 25, this one 30, then this one we should take it 25, right? 25, 25, 30. Okay, 80 question done. Now somebody who is good in maths, they can do it what? Maths plus LR. See, LR is a common. Why? If you go through the question, LR nicely and properly, I think LR you can solve it. In comparison to maths, somebody who is not good at maths, has not given a constant practice, they may not be very good at maths. I'm also sharing my own experience also because I have cracked with this pattern as well. So I can very confidently talk about on this. That somebody not good at maths, still they will be able to sail through. But then they should be good at comprehension passage and LR. Okay? So you can club, you can choose your area. If you are good in maths, you can for more, I'm not saying that totally comprehension passage ko chhod do. It's not like totally neglecting the comprehension passage. Again, as I said you, all you prepare, but there are certain core area where you are more proficient, isn't it? So you capitalize on your proficiency in which you are good at. So this or this, you choose. Now number of question again, because it is time consuming. If you go through the paper, you will see GS paper, many people I have seen, even GS paper, they have found it difficult to complete. But that is something because of lack of practice, I guess. If you practice it well, you will be able to do it well. Aram se. 2 hours, aram se. So that is what you have to practice, isn't it? Similar way, CSAT also we have to practice a lot. And somewhere what I feel that 45 to 50 questions, just like in GS, I gave you an average of 80-85, on an average, 80-85. Either 45 to 50 question if we can select nicely. And in these, suppose take 45 into 2.5. Each question is 2.5 marks, isn't it? What will be the score? Tell me. Fatafat, please do it. For 45, 112.5. ठीक है, 45 question. Now in the 45 questions, suppose you make 35 question correct and 10 question incorrect, then give me the calculation. 35 into 2.5, you give me the calculation. 87.5. So suppose you attempted 45 question, out of that 35 question correct, 10 incorrect. So for 35 you got 87.5. Now 10 question, you deduct the marks. 1/3 marks will be, it is how much? 10 into 2.5, how much? 22.5, right? 22.5, 1/3. 1/3, how much it will come? 7, some 7 or 8 marks, right? So 7 marks you deduct. So somewhere you will be getting what score? 80. That is what we have to get. So if you are attempting 85, you have the liberty of making 10 question incorrect. 10 to 11. But उससे ज़्यादा नीचे नहीं जाना. Otherwise you will be in a danger zone. You will come in a danger zone. Nothing less than 75. Nothing less than 75 I should be getting, but I keep it a safe. 80 if I am getting, you know, I am quite safe. But check from an authentic answer key. And how can you do it? You for that CSAT again, PYQ, I believe they are the best. PYQ from 2011 to 2024. उसको अच्छे से solve करो. And do the key analysis, proper analysis. What are my core area? You know, this is what the kind of allocation of the question. Allocation of the question we have seen, right? 25 passage मान लेते हैं, 25 LR and 30 question maths on an average. Now this year it was little more maths. 40 questions were maths. So little bit work on maths also. Some year could be a risky year. But then otherwise it was normalized. See, other year it was normalized. It was only in 2020 where there was 40 questions. Otherwise on an average, see, 1 year that there can be an anomaly. So that's why prepare some maths easy question, try to prepare that also. And if you are good at maths, then maths plus LR you check, and at the same time you also solve the comprehension passage, isn't it? So if I am good in 2 area, I can sail through. Similar way for your GS also I told you. If you are good in the core areas, you will sail through. Right? So I hope you got an understanding about the CSAT. We have talked about how there are different category of students, and some student, for them maths would be a bit easy. For some student, maths is not easy. See, there are basically 2 types of where maths is easy or maths is not easy. So if maths is not easy for you, You have no choice but to strengthen the comprehension passage area. You have to strengthen that area very nicely so that you get more and more number question correct and very less number incorrect. So your strike rate has to be very high in the comprehension passage and LR section. Isn't it? So this is how you adopt this strategy. 45 question, you select only 45 question, not more than 50 question. ठीक है? You go prepared. मेरे को 50 question ही select करना है या 45 करना है. Maximum 45 I'll select the question. And in that only I should do 45 or 47? 47, right? Within that 45 to 50 range. But not less than 45 because then you might go into the risky zone. So try to cover. So if suppose you have solved only 40 questions, means you have a liberty of doing wrong only 4 or 5 questions. Isn't it or not? Not more than that, 5 questions or maximum 7 questions. So you do the calculation. Just now I show you the calculation. If I do 40 question, 7 question galat ho gaya, so what would be my score? So this is what I used to do. That gave me that okay, I should try to attempt this question, and I solved the paper and I have seen that yes, some 8-10 question galat ho raha hai. So I can take this way the chance. I can go for preparing well for 45 questions. 8 to 10 questions thoda galat ho raha hai. So with this calculation anyway I am getting 80-85 score I am getting. That is a very good number. Okay. So with this, I think I have comprehensively covered the strategy on prelims and it was for the prelims and mains also we have, but this session is particularly focused on prelims. Some other time, after your prelims, we'll go with the strategy of mains. So what are the core things you have understood from this class? What core thing you understood? What you should, stick with that? How many questions you are supposed to attend then? Importance of PYQ, very good. Yes, Sandhya? Elimination technique of eliminations. Yes, core subject. So, one, just let's revise. Yes. So, prelims strategy. What core area we identified? One, importance of syllabus. See, prelim syllabus, they have not given much. They have not given in detail, so we will not be knowing much about, but then we will be knowing, okay, they are asking from current affairs, they are asking from national, international importance, and also we know that in history they had asked about the ancient, medieval and modern history, they are not asked about the world history, so you should not study world history, isn't it? So that is how just go through the syllabus. World history is only in mains, ethics and integrity only in mains, so that will give you an idea that what is there in the syllabus. Second and very important, PYQ, we have gone through the importance of PYQ. I have just shown you that how you can well prepared, and that will give you an idea from where the questions are being asked and what type of question. If the difficulty label is there, how much difficulty label is there. There will be some free question which you must not bother about. If some 5 or 10 freaking questions are coming, we should not able to at all bother about those questions, because that is not going to decide my my selection. My selection is being decided by what are the attemptable question, doable questions, and I'm not able to do that, or I have missed out on there. I have made those questions incorrect. That will decide your selection, not the tough question, easy question or attemptable question. And any question will become easy for you only when you revise it thoroughly. It will become easy. I have shown you how on the basis of your understanding, if you have a deeper and good understanding, you will be able to do it. So, what topic I should go intensive study, what topic I should go for extensive study. There's some area we should have a more idea, read between the line, polity particularly, like polity, I feel that you have to read very, between the line. Economy as well. You see little here and there. We have seen, isn't it? Whether the criminal or civil contempt is defined by the constitution. Some people, they would have read Lakshmikant, अरे हाँ Lakshmikant में तो पढ़ा था civil contempt, this is what the definition, criminal contempt, what is the definition. Yeah, it is given in the constitution, because we feel Lakshmikant is constitution, isn't it? That is what we feel. पढ़ा तो था, basic structure, yeah, I've studied in Lakshmikant, it is there, it must be defined. Lakshmikant means constitution, that is what people, students, they understand. But Lakshmikant is not constitution, isn't it? So be be very specific what you are reading and studying, isn't it? So though it is given in Lakshmikant, but it is not defined in the constitution. So thorough reading, some good material, authentic material already I have discussed in my several strategy. We have already discussed strategy on prelims and mains earlier. What books, what materials you will be reading for paper 1, 2, 3, which I have done from the prelims and mains perspective both. So please go through those videos. You will come to know what topic and from where, what topic I will be studying, that also is being mentioned. Any other doubt, you can always reach to us. Okay, all the best.